All right, hi guys. So we are starting our next informational writing lesson today. And day 5 is all about subtopics, how you can organize your notes using subtopics. And we've talked about that before, like I said in the morning message, how, when we did our projects, our posters, how we had to organize our information while we're taking notes in order to better organize our thoughts and our essays. That is our end goal, is to write an essay and be an expert on something, right? So to better organize your essay, when you go into, writing actual paragraphs, you're going to want to have each paragraph being about a different subtopic on your overall general topic that you're writing about. So I've been really excited to see how much you guys are learning about your topics that you chose. And after today's lesson, you might feel that you need to do a little bit more research before you can continue writing. And that's okay. So take that time today, to catch up on your research, taking some notes if you're a little behind, and then you'll be ready for organizing them by subtopic. And you might even want to start organizing them by subtopic as you're taking notes today. Start thinking about, what are going to be those main ideas for my paragraphs for my essay. So today we're going to be talking about, again, how we can organize our notes into those subtopics. So I'm going to be providing you guys with a graphic organizer. I'm going to model how to do that using my topic, which I collected some information on the red-eyed tree frogs. So I'm going to be showing you and modeling how I can use a graphic organizer to help me organize my notes and choosing subtopics. So before I show you my notes, I want to go over some important things to understand about what a subtopic is. So a subtopic teaches us about the main idea. So you should have 3 or 4 different subtopics for your essay talking about specific things you're focusing on about your topic. They help you to kind of break down your larger topic into smaller sections. So for example, my topic is red-eyed tree frogs. Would I just throw out all this information that I know onto one big blob? No, I want to organize it. So maybe I can have a subtopic on where they live, where we can find them, and another subtopic on what they like to eat. So remember, keeping in mind that kind of helps us focus on specific parts of our topic. You should also keep in mind that subtopics include a collection of facts. So as you're taking notes, you're collecting information, you're collecting facts, and you want to be thinking about where those facts belong. Does this fact belong under the subtopic of where they live, or does it fall under the subtopic of predator versus prey? So thinking about, again, where this information falls. Also thinking about how your subtopics should be grouped by paragraph. And you can even almost kind of think of a subtopic as if it's a chapter of a book. Each section of a book has kind of a new thing that it discusses. So think about each paragraph is kind of almost like a new chapter to your essay. Okay, so now that we learn and discuss what a subtopic is, let's start by organizing our notes. So I'm going to show you guys my notes that I took on red-eyed tree frogs. Okay, so here's my notes page. So I'm going to show you guys kind of how I'm going to go through and organize them into different subtopics. And you'll notice that I collected a lot of information from different resources. So this resource is one that I found. And then, so again, here's a second resource. Here's a third resource on ReadWorks. I found an article there. And so 4. So I found 4 resources, 4 different sites, either a book or an article or any type of thing that I found, online or in a book. I made sure I documented where I got that information, and again, I took notes on that same topic. Okay, so here is a good idea of what you should have. And I have about like 2.5 pages. So if you're kind of lacking where you only have like 3 or 4 bullet points, you might want to get working on that research and taking notes as you start organizing them into subtopics. So I'm going to just kind of read through some of these notes, and I'm going to show you guys how I would organize them by subtopic. So I'm kind of like a visual person. It helps me if I organize it, maybe if I did like based on colors coding my notes. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight certain characteristics that I'm finding. So I'm looking at my first notes that I have here, okay? And so let's see if I can find things that kind of go together. Like maybe I could find what characteristics that red-eyed tree frogs have, and I can highlight all those in the same color. So if you guys aren't familiar, if you look here, this looks like a little highlighter, right? So when I highlight notes and then I click on this, I can highlight and even choose what color I'm highlighting in. So I'm going to go through some of these notes. I'm not going to do all of it right now, but I'll show you guys an examples of, I'm looking for some characteristics of a red-eyed tree frog. So it could be like a physical characteristic, things like that. So the first note says they blend in with leaves, and sometimes snakes try to eat them. Well, so that's not really a characteristic. Let's see. All right, so right here, they are amphibians, which means they live on both land and water. So that kind of tells me a little bit about where they live, but also it's important to know that what type of animal it is. That's a characteristic. It's an amphibian. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to choose my characteristics to be yellow. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. All right, so that's yellow. So let's keep looking down. All right, so here's another kind of like a physical characteristic. They grow to be about 2 to 3 inches and weigh 0.2 to 0.5 ounces. So talking about like their length, their width, their height, their weight, things like that are definitely characteristics I want to take note of. So that's kind of goes with this note. So again, I'm putting that in yellow. Let's see. Okay, so here's another one. They have an average of 5 years of a lifespan. So that's another characteristic, is talking about how long they live. So that can be grouped together with that. And here's another physical characteristic. They have 3 eyelids and move around to see prey and other help swallow food. So that's going to be highlighted yellow as well. Okay, so those are all grouped together for characteristics. All right, so let's do another one. So looking at these same notes, how about, let's do habitat, like where they live, and look for that in my notes. So let's choose the color blue for that. So anything in my notes that I see talking about where they're from, where they live, I'm going to highlight in blue. That'll be my next subtopic. So right now I have characteristics in yellow, and I'm going to do habitat in blue. So let's see. Here it says they live in warm, wet climate, rainforests in Mexico, Central America, and South America. So that I'm going to highlight and color it in blue. And let's see if I have other notes about where they live. Okay, so right here, their habitat, the rainforest, is being cut down, which is leaving some of them homeless. So that's talking a little bit more about where they live and even like an issue that they're facing about where they live. All right, so I have 2 subtopics so far from my notes. So this is looking good. And this is kind of, what I'm looking for you guys when you go into to choose subtopics, thinking about how you can organize your notes like that are talking about similar similar things. So I'm going to do one more right now, I think. I'm going to do one more subtopic because I see in my notes that I see a lot about like different predators and prey that these frogs have. So I think I'm going to group those in green. So like right here, it says a baby red-eyed tree frog is called a tadpole. They eat algae, fruit, flies, and crickets. So that would be like their prey, what they eat. So that will be green. And also here it talks about predators and prey. So I'm going to highlight that in green as well. Okay. So now that I have 3 of my subtopics, I could stop here, but I'm going to want to, learn as much as I can about these frogs from my research. So I actually see another subtopic I could use from these notes that describing a lot of like frogs' adaptations to their environment, how they can kind of change in order to keep themselves safe and away from danger. So I'm thinking I'm going to group another group like that together, maybe use like pink or something. So now I'm just going to show you guys. So this is kind of showing you how to highlight. Once you're done, you go through all of your notes. I would go through all of these, and I actually did. I'm going to show you my completed highlighted of notes. So see, I went in and I did the pink for different adaptations that they have. And this is what I'm looking for. So your notes are all taken, and go through and highlight based on subtopic, and it really helps you organize your notes for what's going to go in each paragraph of your essay. So this is my completed version of my notes with all of my highlights. Now I didn't use all of them because some of my notes didn't work, and that's okay. I highlighted what I'm really going to be using in my essay. So I would suggest doing that color coding. It's really helpful. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So if you don't think you have enough research, like me, I had to, spend some time taking some notes, go and do that today. And while you're doing it, think about what subtopics are you finding that are kind of reoccurring in the articles or books that you're reading. But I would say, it's important to have at least 3 subtopics. And you should be thinking about, you should have at least 3 to 5 pieces of information or facts, for each subtopic. So like each subtopic you choose, you want to have at least 3 to 5 highlighted notes. Okay. So today your job is going to be grouping your notes, and I'm going to show you how you can use a graphic organizer to do that. So here's the graphic organizer. I posted a copy of this on the post for writing today, and you're going to go in, and I know some of you guys have been having trouble with this. So you double click, okay? Double click on the box, double, because that then makes it so that it's a text box that you can type in. I think what's happening is some of you guys just click it once and you're like, oh, I can't type in it, and then the box goes away and it's a big mess. So double click on the box, and then I want you to input your subtopics that you're doing for your essay. So for mine, what I'm doing, I chose to do my box 1 will be characteristics. So I'm typing that in. Oops, forgot the I. Trying to type with one hand. And my second subtopic I said was habitat. So that's like where they live. And my third one was predators and prey. Oops. And my fourth subtopic I threw in there was how they can adapt like to their environment. So I'll just call it, I guess, adaptations. Okay. So that's all I'm looking for today. If you're done with your research notes, you're kind of ahead of the game, where now you're organizing them, highlighting them, and deciding your subtopics. And I want to get a clear idea of where your essay is going. So please complete this so that I can see that you have your topic. It's already decided here. So like, yeah, you should be able to click on this box too to type in your topic. And then type in your 3 or 4 subtopics. If you only have 3, that's fine, but you need to have at least 3, okay? So I'll be taking a look at these and I'll give you some feedback and advice if you need it. If you need any help coming up with any subtopics or finding more information, like if you need help finding a book or an article or whatever, please reach out, let me know. I am totally free and here for you if you need help with any of that. So reach out if you need any help. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. Please take a look at your notes, highlight, organize them by subtopic, choose your subtopics, and if you really need to catch up on notes, please do that. So I'm excited to continue working with you guys on your essays. They're going to come out great. I'm excited to read them, and reach out if you need help.